Trust is very fundamental in every business organization, and you would agree with me that this is impacted by the corporate governance practice within the organization. A good corporate governance practice helps to strengthen operations and also instills confidence in the minds of stakeholders. What sort of corporate governance do you practice in your organization? Is it a strong or a weak corporate governance? Follow me as we talk about corporate governance today and how this can be implemented in a small and mid-sized business. In simple terms, let's look at what corporate governance is. It refers to the systems of internal controls, processes, and procedures by which a company is directed and controlled. Corporate governance itself is largely focused on leadership, particularly the board of directors within an organization. A weak corporate governance would largely impact the organization's operations and profitability at the end of the day. Accountability, responsibility, fairness, risk management are key principles that will be considered under corporate governance. Stakeholders' interest itself is also at the core of corporate governance. Remember that we talked about it as what the systems of internal controls, procedures, and processes by which a company is directed and controlled. Taking it a step further, let us look at why companies typically fail when it comes to corporate governance. Remember that our focus is really small and mid-sized businesses. The very first is a weak or an ineffective board. The second is a weak internal control system. The third is poor risk management system, which could also lead to legal and reputational risk, which may also affect, the trust, the level of trust that people have for that organization or in the organization. The next is lack of transparency, which may be seen maybe as a result of lack of clarity in the reporting process, or maybe provision of insufficient information, particularly to stakeholders in the business. The next is lack of accountability, which may arise as a result of failure to establish clear reporting lines. And in this instance, you see at the end of the day that the owners of the business begin to act in their own interest rather than the interest of the business or even that of other stakeholders. And finally, another reason that can make corporate governance fail in business is as a result of the fact that a company does not keep up with regulatory requirements where necessary. Today, we've been able to identify the reasons why corporate governance practices fail within business organizations. In the next presentation, we are going to be looking at the implementation of corporate governance for small and medium-sized businesses. And then we will take it a step further, looking at the growth stage in each, in these businesses and how you can implement corporate governance in every stage of growth, as that's from a small business down to a mid-sized business. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. I hope this presentation has been very impactful and informative. Thank you once again and see you in the next presentation. Have a great one.